I think that they're basically saying that men who want to become women are better at being women than women are. They're erasing, they're canceling women. And how sad that the Biden administration on International Women's Day actually has to find someone with a male organ to be a woman and celebrate that person as a woman. And on the same day, the U.S. came out saying that trans women can compete in the powerlifting, which is an outrage. I mean, they're basically canceling women. And I don't know who else was honored. I hear that Leah Thomas was honored. I hear that Rachel Levine was honored. What about real women? Why is it that they're looking at real women as not good enough, that the men who want to be women are better than we are? And it is hurtful. It is offensive. It erases the dreams of many women who have worked very hard to get to certain levels in sports. And it is crazy town.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about a CNN town hall. If you guys didn't know CNN had a town hall, I'm pretty sure nobody watched it because nobody watches CNN anymore. But they had a town hall with Virginia Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin, in which one of the issues that they discussed was the issue of bathrooms, okay, and transgender students using bathrooms based off their biological sex or their gender identity. Now, Glenn Youngkin and the Republicans in Virginia have cracked down on that, okay, and clearly the woke revolutionaries are upset, they're mad, they're pissed, right? So now they have the opportunity to confront Glenn Youngkin on this issue, and it just so happens that this transgender person is a trans man who apparently also is a high school student. She's 17 years old, and she asked Glenn Youngkin, why would he believe, or does he believe, that trans men like her, okay, people that look like her, do you think that biological women or girls will be comfortable with people that look like her in a girl's restroom? Take a look.
Together as a family.
So, Governor, I want to bring in Nico, a 17-year-old student from Arlington. Nico?
Governor Youngkin, your transgender model policies require that students play on the sports teams and use the restrooms that correspond with their sex assigned at birth. Look at me. I am a transgender man. Do you really think that the girls in my high school would feel comfortable sharing a restroom with me?
Yep. So first of all, Nico, thank you for, again, asking the question, being here tonight, and engaging in this important discussion. I believe first, when parents are engaged with their children, then you can make good decisions together, and I met your dad, and I'm glad that you're both here together. That's really, really important. I also think that there are lots of students involved in this decision, and what's most important is that we try very hard to accommodate students. That's why I have said many, many times, we just need extra bathrooms in schools. We need gender-neutral bathrooms, and so people can use a bathroom that they, in fact, are comfortable with. I think sports are very clear, and I don't think it's controversial. I don't think that biological boys should be playing sports with biological girls. There's been decades of efforts in order to gain opportunities for women in sports, and it's just not fair. And I think that's non-controversial and something that I think is pretty well understood. Again, I think these are very difficult discussions, and I am very, very glad to see you and your dad here together.
There are obviously a lot of different views on this topic, and you've said it should be up to parents. But it's not that simple, right?
All right, so some of the reactions I saw to Glenn Youngkin's answer were kind of negative from the conservative/Republican side of the aisle, because they believe that he didn't go hard enough, okay? And I actually kind of agree with them to a certain extent. I think it's obvious that Glenn Youngkin there was trying to thread the needle, okay? He was trying not to hurt anybody's feelings, okay, while at the same time trying to please both sides. Not sure if that's possible in today's politics, but I understand what Glenn Youngkin was doing. However, I would have liked for him to have taken a moment to introduce this young woman, this young girl, to reality and say, look, the reality is this. When we're talking about biological women or biological girls and how comfortable they are in the bathroom, genitalia matters, right? I understand that you want to be a man, but you're not a man, okay? You're still a girl. you really shouldn't even be transitioning. Okay, you're 17 years old. You don't know what you're doing, right? You have no idea what you're doing with your body. You shouldn't be transitioning. Okay, this should be a thing that any child is doing. Okay, so I'm assuming that your genitalia is uncastrated and still intact, right? Or at least I hope so, right? If not, then there's a problem. Okay, and that's a problem that Glenn Youngkin needs to address. But again, since we're talking about children here, we don't have the issue that we can have with adults where there's a genitalia mismatch because, you know, a man decided to get his, you know, twigs and berries chopped off. So now it's like, okay, well, I guess they kind of have a vagina. They got to sit down to pee. But that's not what we're dealing with here, right? So with that being said, I think Glenn Youngkin should have focused more on just trying to get this young, confused individual back to reality and just say, look, you are a biological woman, right? I don't care what you think in your head. That is the case. And we're talking about whether or not women are comfortable. They're not going to be comfortable with having the opposite genitalia in the bathroom with them. They're just not going to be comfortable with that, okay? It doesn't matter what you look like, right? There's plenty of girls that look like dudes, okay? And again, women are not uncomfortable using the bathroom with them because they have a vagina. Where the discomfort comes in is when you have penises in that space, right? It's really that simple. And that's why I think that this question right here is a self-own from this transgender man, okay? Because they think that it's a gotcha. It's like, well, I look like a dude. You think girls will be comfortable with me, somebody who looks like a dude, going into their, restroom, their bathroom? And I'm like, yeah, they would be totally comfortable with it if they were assured that based off the rules that even though you look like a man, you still have a vagina, they'll be totally fine with it, right? Because, again, the threat is the penis, right? The threat is the penis. Again, that's what these people don't understand, okay? So, again, if you believe, if this transgender person actually truly believes that biological women are going to be uncomfortable with her going to the bathroom with them, then why would she believe that a actual biological male, right, with a penis, who probably is going to look more like a man than she does, that biological girls going to be comfortable with that individual, okay? A biological man using the bathroom with them. Why would you think that girls would be comfortable with that? I don't think they would, right? I think they'd be much more comfortable with you than they would a biological man, period. And again, the shameful part about this whole exchange here is the father, right? The father who shakes his head in disbelief, right, at Glenn Youngkin when Glenn Youngkin is stating the correct answer on sports, right? Biological men should not be competing against biological women in sports. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. And the father is shaking his head. He's shaking his head at Glenn Youngkin, just saying common sense, right? Something that everybody should agree with. Because if his daughter went out there and started playing with men because she thinks she's a man, right, and she ends up getting hurt, it's going to be his fault. It's going to be on him, right? And then maybe biology will actually matter at that point, okay? Maybe they'll get a dose of reality. And it's sad, man. It's sad to see a father that is participating in allowing his daughter to go through these types of transitioning processes and gender-affirming healthcare. It looks like this person's probably on some testosterone or something, some hormones. I don't know. Maybe they could just be like a very, masculine, woman or girl naturally. Who knows? But clearly he is supportive of it. And again, it's sad because as a father, you're supposed to stand up against this and stand up for what's right for your daughter and don't push her down the wrong direction. But that's not what's happening here. Okay, he's participating in it. And that's, again, the saddest part, right? That is the saddest part. It really is. So, yeah, I don't think Glenn Youngkin's answer here was completely satisfactory. But I think he, again, tried to thread the needle. He tried to make everybody happy. But, I mean, when you do that in politics, you basically end up pissing everybody off. So, I mean, it is what it is. I do think he should have been much more upfront with this young woman about reality, right, and biological facts. And why, her question, really isn't the own that she thinks that it is, okay? It's really not. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.